Hey Brickmaniacs, welcome back to another Designer Studio episode. Today we're taking a little closer look at the rescue squad, the LA County paramedic truck, which does include the two minifigures you see included in there, as well as the truck itself. I got Dan joining me to talk a little bit about this build. The first thing I will say though is that I just love the kind of just classic look of this kit. I mean, it does kind of have the same vibe as when the show itself that it's based off of would have been airing. It's kind of got that feel to it.
Yeah, it is like, you know, if you could throw it back, I mean, even right down to the old school doors on the side.
Yeah.
This is like 80s, 70s, 80s. This is reminding me of my childhood. I would get out of school, run home, and we would turn the TV on just in time to watch, you know, Emergency on TV, Squad 51, I just already hear in my head
the theme song,
the theme song, and the sound of the station alarm going off. Like it's just it's right there.
That's cool.
And this brings me back to those days when I was a wee lad.
Well, and obviously we've kind of started to touch on this whole mostly firefighting. You know, kind of started initially with the Sherpa, and then moved on into we've done a bulldozer, we've done the Kennedy Space Center, a little bit kind of just touching on this lineup. Not usually past their initial batches
Cal
themselves.
Fire Huey.
Yeah, exactly. We did that one too. So it's kind of grown over the past year or so into a nice little collection, and this would be the first kind of truck of this scale that we've seen coming through that.
Obviously, this is directly inspired by the TV show, but I mean, there's a huge history, and it was interesting going and reading about it because the show was actually a history of paramedics, the whole way that they became a thing. And it was largely because of this show. So there's it's not just, hey, we're just paying tribute to this classic TV show. Well, actually,
the inspiration behind
it is what we think of modern paramedics today were popularized because of what they did in the show. So they were modeling after real paramedics, which were pioneered in California. The idea of actually sending trained medical firefighters to help rescue people was a foreign thing. They would that was a no-no. You weren't supposed to. If you were like a medic or something, you weren't just supposed to get them to the hospital. You weren't supposed to do any sort of procedures or anything.
Right.
Only a doctor was allowed to administer any sort of
oh, interesting.
Okay,
even down to that. Wow.
Actually, laws had to be changed in order, so these guys wouldn't get sued by doing good things.
Yeah, sure, trying to help out. Wow.
So there's like whole history, and it was really interesting. And I was, hey, it's a Dodge truck. You can't go wrong with that. So,
yeah.
But there's a whole bunch more history behind it than just a TV show and just a cool truck and a firefighting and stuff. This is important.
Well, and from a kit perspective, I love how when you look at this, you're kind of like, oh man, that's got some super classic, nostalgic Lego vibes.
Well, back in the day, when I was just a whippersnapper, we would get the headlight brick of a vehicle. It was literally a brick with headlights and a grill printed on it.
Okay, cool.
And there was even silver foil versions.
Wow.
So one of the reasons we chose, I originally had this. Let's turn this.
Yeah, go for it.
This contraption off. I originally had this all built with Lego headlights and everything and a grill. And I was like, what, that doesn't have the right vibe. We need to go back to that sort of 80s, 70s, 80s Lego vibe where they actually printed parts that looked a lot like that. And the wheels, the doors, everything is this is just even an arch. I mean, this is incorporating those 70s, 80s elements into making a 70s truck. This is like a 72, 73 Dodge. Started out as, and then they built this custom box on it. And they apparently, there's some history behind this. The LA County had an actual truck like this, and they manufactured their own because there was no precedent before.
Oh, sure.
So LA County was supposed to make one for the TV show. They're like, we don't have time, but here's a blueprint. So I believe it was Universal or Paramount, one of those, said, okay, well, we can make this. And they actually made, they made a replica of an actual fire truck just for the show. So
that's cool.
So they bought all the same gear, got everything that they would use in real life, and just,
made it how it was.
Right.
Wow, that's really cool.
And I'm kind of geeking out on this because this is the first time I've actually gotten I haven't seen the actual guys with their helmets and the printing and stuff. So this is the first time for me seeing it and getting the guys actually to sit inside. I was really had my fingers crossed.
With the helmets on.
Right, because I only had Lego helmets, Lego fire helmets to go with. So I was like, are they going to fit? Cross my fingers, they actually fit because a whole bunch of people are going to be really mad at me if they don't.
If they got to take their helmets off.
So yeah, you do have to kind of take. It is a little hard getting them in and out because those helmets are big, but these are.
But this comes off super easy too.
Oh,
so
absolutely! It's designed to come off. I was really super relieved, I guess is the right term.
To see them fit the way they did.
Yeah, that they both fit in there. Because in the TV show, I don't know why, maybe they thought they were going to crash, but they wear their helmets inside the trunk.
It looks cool.
So maybe that was regulations, or maybe that was just a TV thing. I have no idea, but I wanted to make sure it worked, and it does. Lo and behold. So you have the truck, guys. Both guys fit inside. We'll just call them Johnny and Roy. Fit inside the truck.
Wink, wink.
And you got a lot of printed parts. So you got printing on the roof, printing on the alarm here.
I love the steel.
Oh yeah,
That is awesome.
There's a, what is that, diamond plate all along the bed back here and on the back. You have printing on the back of the box here. People are like, why didn't you put taillights? Well, there aren't taillights on here. They're actually on the bumper. We're not going to print the side of the bumper. We've done stuff like that in the past, but we didn't need to get carried away.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And of course, these printed doors. So.
Well, and this kit already has a really friendly price point, even with all of the printing and the 2 minifigures included as well, which is really cool to see.
Right. We didn't want the first one to come out to be like some huge $1,000 fire truck. I mean, we've already done a few of those in the past. Like, let's make something that's friendly more along the line of the motorcycle duo.
Yeah, exactly. Which this one definitely is kind of in tandem with that. If you're collecting stuff from your childhood, from whatever childhood, or maybe you just are a fan of older shows, I think it's cool to be able to have that option.
So it has a lot of like you said, the nostalgia factors there. But if you're into firefighting, you're into collecting die-cast, this is kind of like a very good intersection of all those points. So a nice workable vehicle.
Yeah, it's very playable. I mean, it's definitely got that sandbox kit quality in the sense that it's pretty dang durable.
It's not going to fall apart when you're
exactly. It definitely
it's quite a sturdy, and you could it might save your life someday.
Which is it's cool to see it come to fruition in the way that it has as well.
So now that we've done these 3D printed helmets, would you guys like to see more of them? I'm assuming people would, but if you'd like to see them, throw us your ideas. I mean, these guys are obviously dressed to be rescue paramedics. They're not wearing the normal firefighting, full firefighting gear. We could do that. We could actually 3D print our own apparatus, breathing apparatus, everything. It's something that, if there's interest, we'll do it.
Absolutely. I think that's the number one indicator right there is it an avenue that people want to see explored in not only standalone elements, but standalone minifigures? Is it something that would integrate into people's Lego cities?
Right. And we're willing to do it. These are American. These are classic, classic, 60s, 70s helmets. We would love to make more, but, it's we have to juggle our capacity between what we would like to do and what people would like to buy.
Yeah.
And have to kind of make a fair balance of that. So if you're interested, let us know. We'll keep going.
Drop a comment. As always, we're always interested to hear that feedback, and we do listen as people have commented in the past when they're like, holy smokes, it's happening, which is always cool to see. Well, an excellent kit. Definitely one where it's if you know, and if it means something to you, make sure to go pick it up because it's kind of a niche thing for us, but at the same time, it's one that we're excited to explore, as you can tell. Dan, thank you very much for joining me, and thank you guys very much for watching.